Cool.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store.
Cool.
Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt
Cool.
that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
Yep. I'm
Hi,
looking
this
at
is
it right
Bobby
now.
Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum with a lot of life.
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and as always, good to be seeing Izzy Presley right here on another fucking podcast. Another brand new show for the year, the very first brand new show of the year. Got Alex Grossi on the line. Going to get to him in just a second. First, we have to get through all this mumbo-jumbo that I like to do before the guest comes on. Make sure you hit up all of the social media. Of course, the Facebook page for the show. The show page is Another Effin' Podcast. And you can hit me up at Real Izzy Presley on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for everything I'm doing entertainment-wise and all for my my wackiness and my food posts and see how much Astroglide I'm going through. All of that good stuff. And also hit that Shop Now button and buy T-shirts. Support the show. If you don't want my horrible merchandise, feel free to just send me money. It's Izzy Presley at yahoo.com is your PayPal. Very, very simple. And also, you can catch me every single morning on the Monsters of Rock on the Dash Radio Network, the Monsters of Rock channel, 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. California time. All the great tunes, and of course, me yapping for, I don't know, 6 hours, something like that. It's a good time. You know, you get me at my finest. What do I got going on? I got nothing. We got cruises coming up, Cruise to the Edge, Monsters of Rock cruise, and the On the Blue cruise all coming up starting in February. So there will be no shows in February unless the show when I'm back for a week. So we'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, going to bring in our special guest for this week, calling in from Las Vegas, correct?
I'm calling from Sin City, yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Quiet Riot and probably the greatest band name ever, Hookers and Blow, Alex Grossi. Welcome, finally, to Another Effin' Podcast.
Thank you, sir. It's we finally lined it up. Thank you so much for having me, Izzy. It's an honor to kick off 2019 with you.
Yeah, man, it's a good. I've been bugging you for about 2 years now, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while. I'm glad we finally got to do it. I saw you this past weekend in Hollywood, and
yeah,
yep, it all worked out.
How long have you been up in Vegas? Because I always thought you were an LA guy.
I moved to LA from back east, I think 2001, and okay. I did my hard time on the Sunset Strip until about 2000. I think I moved out here in 2013. I've been here ever since. I love it. I mean, I actually live in Henderson, which is kind of away from the Strip. So, you know, I'm not a big gambler or anything, so it's nice. It's quiet, but I can still get to LA and Phoenix and go out partying if I want to. But I also live in a very quiet neighborhood, so I can get some work done too. So it's the best of both worlds out here.
That's cool. Oh my God, we got people checking in already. Scotty checking in from Canada, minus 28 up there with wind chill. Freaking cold and windy in Minnesota as well. Gunter checking in as well. So that's all I got to say, dude. I just heard some horror stories about moving up to Vegas. So, like, you have to get, like, permits to work and all these, like, health permits and all this shit. Is that true?
I guess it really depends on what you want to, what you're doing for a living. I mean, personally, for me, being on the other end of things with as far as being an agent and a booking agent and whatnot, you don't have to be bonded or licensed out here.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't really had any roadblocks thrown up in front of me, and I don't really perform out here at all. I don't, other than Quiet Riot and Hookers and Blow, I don't really play that much. I'm out here doing other stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of like permits and whatnot you need to get to be certain to do in certain kind of entertainment, and obviously the gaming's a big thing, like working at a casino,
right?
Working for the casino, doing working the tables and whatnot. There's a lot of things, hoops you have to jump through. But I haven't run into it personally, but I have heard from actually, ironically, a lot of times girls that come out here to be exotic dancers, if you will, have to do a certain amount of paperwork as opposed to LA or wherever else. Yeah, but the returns on it, you come out here, people spend a lot of money out here, so it is worth it.
Well, yeah,
they want to regulate it.
You take any Southwest flight into Burbank or LAX on a Sunday, and it's going to be filled with strippers and glitter.
Oh yeah, and regret and failure.
Yeah. Well, that's my middle name.
Well, it's funny. I'm always, with Quiet Riot and mostly with Hookers and Blow, we do fly dates. So I'm always leaving like on a Thursday and coming back like on a Sunday or Monday. So as I'm leaving Vegas, everyone's coming in and they're going to win $1 million and they're going to have such a great time and they're going to relive the hang. And then I'm coming back on Sunday afternoon and everyone just looks like they got the life sucked out of them. They're broke. They just spent their kids' college money on hookers, and their wives ran up their wives checking their ATM card. It's funny that how the vibe changed. How 3 days out here can change the vibe.
I always say I love driving up there, and the drive up there is so easy, but the drive back, it's like the longest walk of shame ever. It's like your nose is bleeding, you're broke, you're hungover, you caught something, you don't know from where, and then you got that desert sun shining down on you the whole way, just to rub it in a little bit.
It takes like 3.5 hours to get here on Friday afternoon, and it takes 12 hours to get home on Sunday afternoon, and it's the longest 12 hours of your life. But, when you live out here, you're not really doing it.
Right.
It's a different, you're in a different headspace, but people come here, they wait all year to come Taiwan on and go crazy in Vegas. And people do go nuts out here. It is definitely, the Strip is, but when you live out here, it's like basically Groundhog Day. It's the same thing over and over again. People are putting on their shows for the tourists, and for the locals, it's another day at the office. So it's I like it. It's definitely a nice change from LA, but again, I'm still I can be in LA in 45 minutes on Southwest, like you said. So it's easy.
Oh, absolutely. You said you're from back east. Where from back east?
I was born and raised in Connecticut.
Okay.
And I went to college in Boston. I went to Berkeley for a little while, and then ended up joining a band, going on the road, and basically doing that whole thing till early 2000s when I got sick of the cold weather and decided to move to Hollywood.
Were you?
And that was it.
Were you
Connecticut?
Were you a Whale? So you were a Whalers fan?
I was never a big hockey fan, but I did have a Whalers jersey, and I was more of a wrestling fan. I still am.
Nice.
WWF was back in Stamford, Connecticut. And that's where the whole thing started. So we would get to see a lot of the pay-per-view events. They would basically rehearse them at the Hartford Civic Center like the week before, and we would go for real cheap and see. Oh yeah, it's it wasn't like it back like now they have the internet and whatnot where they can get a lot more. It can be done a lot more efficiently. But being from Connecticut, a lot of the wrestlers were there, and the McMahons basically run the state, so they did at one point. And that was my big thing was wrestling. But the Whalers played at the Civic Center as well, so you could do wrestling during the day and go see a Whalers game at night. So,
nice. Well, see,
cool.
I'm from Minneapolis, so I grew up on the AWA.
Right. My girlfriend's just getting me into that. My little world back there was all about WWF and WWE. But
Yep.
I'm learning more and more about where these guys where they got their start and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, my wrestling, because of how old I am, I started getting into it right around, I would say, WrestleMania 4 and 5. That was when I got into it. And just, yeah. I'm not as old school as some of my friends, yeah.
Well, you're probably not as old then. I thought you were closer to my age. So I'm like 46. I figured you were like right around my age.
I'm 42, but I've always played with guys older than me. Yeah, but it's right around. I mean, right when pay-per-view and all that, when it really blew up, is when I got into it. Because up until I think WrestleMania 3, you could only see it on like closed circuit television. It was hard to watch it,
Yeah.
But then it got really big, like around the whole Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
After WrestleMania 3, I think it really peaked out.
Oh yeah, dude, Hogan and Giant in frickin' Pontiac, Michigan.
Pontiac, Michigan. Yep, that was the one. And then from there, and then once the Undertaker came out, that was my guy. This guy wearing all black. He's got long. Yeah, he's creepy. I like this guy.
Absolutely. So you move out to LA. Why didn't you do it earlier? Did you? I mean, because I know the music that we love was dead.
Well, no, I've been in and out of LA a lot. As far as making the move, I didn't ever have the need to until my other band got dropped from our label.
Gotcha.
We were touring out there a lot though, and I got every time we'd roll through the West Coast, I always felt more at home, and it was warmer, and the music I liked. I walk in. You're not going to meet Lemmy, in St. Louis or in even in New York for that matter. But I walk into the Rainbow, and it's like, oh my God, this is the place I saw on TV when I was a kid, and now I'm really here. And yeah, it's the music I grew up, listening to, and I just fell in love with the place. But I didn't really feel to have the need to till the early 2000s, and it all just kind of lined up. There was sort of a resurgence of hard rock with Buck Cherry and whatnot, and bands like that were kind of getting a little more attention. And I ended up actually joining Beautiful Creatures when I moved out there, which was one of those bands. Yeah, that was the first. I did
not know that.
Like Hollywood band. That was the first Hollywood band I joined when I moved out there.
Nice.
I met Joe Listay and we became friends. And I did their second record after DJ left, and that sort of got me into that whole little clique, and the rest is history, I guess.
Right. Well, how long did it take after Beautiful Creatures before you got the Quiet Riot gig?
Well, it was all kind of connected because when I joined Creatures, there was no Quiet Riot, and I got a phone call to get the agency that was booking Creatures, and actually I joined Bang Tango as well, which is obviously Joe Listay. Yeah. They were talking about doing this thing called the Bad Boys of Metal tour, which was Janie Lane from Warrant, Kevin Dubrow of Quiet Riot, Steven Adler of GNR, obviously, and Bang Tango, and they asked if they could do a common band, meaning the guys would rotate and there'd be one band all night, and they asked me to be the guitar player. So I did the tour. It was it was a lot of fun, but it was, if you could imagine, all those dudes on one tour bus.
Yeah.
It was a reality show times 10. So after that tour, Kevin and I became really close, and that's eventually how I ended up, meeting Frankie and joining Quiet Riot the next year.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. After Kevin passed, how long did it take you guys to think, we should keep going?
I mean, it was a good 3 years. We were inactive. I mean, if you watch, there's a Quiet Riot movie out called Now You're Here, There's No Way Back, and it really documents the entire thing.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Kevin passed away. Kevin passed away in 2007, and we basically got back together a little over 3 years later.
Okay.
So about 3 years, three solid years of being inactive and all doing other things and kind of losing touch. So it took a little while.
Well, and now you guys have James Durbin as your singer. And this is not that I have a problem with James. It's like Kevin had that voice where it's a very distinct voice. And now you guys go get somebody that sounds nothing like him. I mean, that's not a shot. I mean, he still does a fine job, obviously. But
there's no replacing Kevin Dubrow. I mean, and the idea was never to get a clone, because you can't. There's only one of that guy. There's only one Axl Rose. There's only one Brian Johnson. There's only one Freddie Mercury. It's just getting someone that can do it justice and and has the right spirit, the right attitude, and that you get along with. I mean, it's not.
Right.
It's so funny. People that that don't do this for a living the way we do, that think that my buddy can sing it better than that. It's like, no, yeah, but your buddy can't tour. Your buddy can't sing 5 nights in a row.
Right.
Your buddy doesn't have it on stage. It's like, we're not looking to win a karaoke contest. We're looking to play music, and
Right.
it's not about being a sound-alike. And Kevin was larger than life. Kevin was one of the last, in my opinion, real rock stars on stage and off stage. And, you don't just, either you have it or you don't have it. And James does have it. It's just a different sort of it, if you will,
Right.
So, we're very happy with him. And he's a great guy. Him and I are like probably very close friends. And he's great. He's doing a great job. We're all very happy. It feels like a band, and we all get along. And, that's what it's about,
Right, right. Absolutely.
There's so much more to it that people don't realize that, that goes into it,
Was there any of the, he's younger, he can maybe get a younger, flair into it too?
Not really. It's just the main thing was like, can you hit the notes and sing it and sell it? And, he's genuinely a big fan of heavy metal. He's not just doing it to pick up a paycheck. Like a lot of times you'll see these guys that are like these mercenary work for hire musicians that want to come in and be like, yeah, I'll do the gig, but they're not really into it. They're just doing it because it's a paycheck. This is, he loves heavy metal. It keeps his own soul. Like he actually, when he was on American Idol, he brought out Judas Priest into people's, think about that for a second.
That's right. That's right.
Everyone else is singing "Don't Stop Believing" and singing, Sonny and Cher songs and doing, basically it's Glee, and then he walks out there with Rob Halford. I mean, how cool is that?
Right.
And I knew him back then. I knew him back then. I knew him. Yeah, we actually had the same lawyer way back.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I met him back in 2011. And he was like only 22 back then. And I'm like, this kid really loves heavy metal, and he's the real thing. He's genuine. He's not just doing it as a shtick. It's like he's the guy, So we're very happy.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Have you noticed, and I've kind of noticed this too, there's like a large influx of like young 20-something gals really embracing the 80s rock now.
Well, I think it comes down to this. It's fun. It's like it's a lifestyle thing. It's the way that in the '90s, all these like Dave Matthews type bands, Fish, and all these jam bands would come out because they had that Grateful Dead thing. Because the Grateful Dead wasn't just about the music; it was about the whole experience. And 80s hard rock is about fun. It's a good time, and I think people like that. I mean, who doesn't want to get off work and escape their shitty day? They want to go out and have fun, and this kind of music does encompass that. So,
right.
Yeah, I have noticed it. I mean, it's like it's a no-brainer though. It's like, yeah, that looks like fun. I'll do that.
Right. It's like all I can think is fucking Sebastian Bach. Dude, there was Jack Daniels and cocaine.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'd rather hang out with, after if I watch like a bunch of old MTV classic videos, I'd probably want to hang out with the guys in Poison more than I want to hang out with the guys in Pearl Jam. That's just me.
Oh, thank you. I totally agree. And speaking of that era, next week,
that's no disrespect to Pearl Jam. It's just good time's a good time.
Right. I can't stand Pearl Jam, by the way, but that's just me. But yeah, ironically, next week, Ricky Rackman's going to be on the show talking about his Cat House podcast. I'm rather excited about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And just really quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a guitar player, please check out Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's, Beeter. I am proud to be their very first artist. These things are hand-wired, hand-built, testicular fortitude, 100 watts, and pull 2 tubes. You got a 53 channels. They're just fucking awesome. Check them out. They are amazing. It's beateramplification.com. And yeah, before we move forward, I suppose we should mention that I know you're not really doing press on it, but Quiet Riot has a live in Milan. Night in Milan.
I just saw the second video from it today. Actually, it comes out January 25th, I believe, and we recorded it last spring, I think, in Italy. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show. And what I love about it is what you get is just a live show. We didn't fix anything. We didn't tune anything. We didn't alter anything.
Nice.
It's old school. 4 dudes on stage, just not playing it safe, going for it, rock show, the way it should be. No No tracks,
absolutely.
nothing fixed. It's just, there are mistakes, there are wrong notes, and I love every one of them.
Right, absolutely. It's ironic that Frontiers in the last year have released three live records from Milan: Mr. Big, LA Guns, and now you guys.
Yeah, they have a great venue out there. I can't even pronounce the name of it, but and it's set up for that kind of thing. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's got a big, it sounds really good, and
right.
It's a cool thing to do, and it's got a very, they have the production down so well. I mean, it was really, like I said, we walk down stage, and what you see in that DVD is exactly what happened. There's no trickery, which
right.
Nowadays when you watch some of these live videos, it's not a live video.
Right.
You go to see some of these bands and they're piping in vocals that were recorded 30 years ago. It's like, what am I watching here?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not even trying to hide it,
I know, and that's why I love that GNR Live at the Ritz. It's raw. It's out of tune. I was
just going to reference that. When I was a kid, I saw that. I'm like I'm watching Live at the Ritz, and I just watched Motley live at the Us Festival, quite QR live at the Us Festival, Van Halen live at the Us Festival.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, these guys are fucked up.
Yep.
They're really playing, and this is a moment captured in time. This isn't polished. This isn't perfect. Live at the Ritz, I mean, it's a mess, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's perfect.
Exactly.
That's what a live rock show should be. It should be dangerous. It should be a little bit, what happened there?
I absolutely agree. And I mean, it's the unfortunate thing now too. There's a lot of bands out there, they can't pull it off without those tracks anymore.
Well, it's not that they can't pull it off, and it's not that it's anything. It's not that they can't pull it off. It's you're brought up with the technology you're brought up with, and
right.
If by proxy, I mean, I grew up with a certain kind of amps, a certain kind of guitars. I'm used to playing that. I mean, and if you're brought up with being accustomed to playing to a click and flying in background vocals and keyboards, that's what you do. That's the music you know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's by proxy and by, but, it's, if you appreciate that old school thing and can do it by all means, because, it's a dying breed. You don't see too many bands. I mean, everyone's talking about, Greta Van Fleet or however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And they're, what they're doing is they're just playing. They're just a rock band. They're not groundbreaking. They're good. They're great at what they do. But it's just how detached it's become from what it was. So it's pretty interesting to look at it that way.
Well, the thing I love about Greta is like you got a bunch of young kids out there playing rock and roll. Yes, they sound like Led Zeppelin. Yeah. We get it. Blah 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 blah.
Well, of course. You know what it is? It's a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer. Of course. Oh wow. You want to call them Led Zeppelin, fine. You know what I call it? I call it a rock band.
Yeah, exactly. But my thing is, it's like they're young, and I mean they're fucking white hot right now, and they're getting young kids into rock and roll.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
That's what it's all fucking about.
It's nice to see that because you're gonna see. I mean, because when I was a kid, I would listen to, let's say Skid Row, and then they would mention a band that they grew up listening to.
Yeah.
And I go, I want to check them out because Snake Sabo said he liked them. Now,
right.
If it weren't for Skid Row, I would never have heard of, say, Humble Pie or whoever. I'm just making up examples here, but
yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing with Greta. They're going to turn kids onto it, and it keeps the music and the vibe alive. Definitely,
What's one of those bands?
Everything comes around.
What's one of those bands where you heard about from another band that you went back and you were just fucking blown away by?
Let me think about that for a second. One of those bands. You mean a band a band that I heard about through a band that I was currently listening to that I didn't realize they were totally. Let me think here. There's. Well, I would say I never really got into Jimi Hendrix till I heard a couple bands cover his songs. Obviously, I was like, because I'm growing up in Connecticut. I was watching Headbangers Ball and listening to Connecticut radio, and it was all at the time active rock, and I'm like. And Led Zeppelin for that matter. I mean, Slash was like one of my favorite, was probably my guy back in the day. And all we talked about was Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix. And, I went back and listened to Zeppelin and got that Zeppelin box set with the crop circles on it. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Early 90s. And I could hear, the influence, and actually even Kiss for that matter. I mean, I was never that big of a Kiss fan until I got into Pantera and saw Kiss stickers all over Dimebag Darrell's guitar and said, I got to check these guys out. And, if you think about it, Pantera, Dimebag really got a lot of younger kids into Kiss, into Ace Frehley especially.
Absolutely.
They flew the Kiss flag so high.
Yep.
I mean, so many kids that would never know as much as they do about Kiss and Ace if it weren't for Pantera.
Right. Well,
they definitely did.
It's funny that some of the people you would never expect were Kiss fans. You know, it's like it's all these like just metal guys. Like, dude, it's fucking Ace Frehley. It's Kiss. That's why.
Yeah,
I started.
And Dimebag plays nothing like Ace Frehley.
Nope,
you can't
not
hear.
at all.
I don't listen to Dimebag Daryl and go. I mean, but he worships the ground he walks on. You know, Ace has got his own. Ace. Nobody plays like Ace Frehley.
Nope.
You know. But everyone across the map goes, oh, he was one of my biggest influences because they were larger than life, you know.
Yeah.
And I got to see him when they first came back, and I think it was '96 when they put the makeup back on with the original four guys, and it was a big show. It was the biggest one that I've seen, and I was like, oh my god, this is a rock concert.
Yeah,
you know, now
absolutely.
I get it. You know.
Absolutely, I remember.
I'm glad they did that. You know.
Yeah, I remember Gene when they did that big press conference on the aircraft carrier. Where he's like,
yeah,
the big boys are back to show you how it's done, and it was absolutely
he was
fucking
right.
true. Absolutely true. Oh, Scotty checking in from Canada. For me, it's been UFO. The Cruise exposed me to more of their tunes. All right, UFO.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was weird. It's like I was never a big UFO guy in the very first Monsters of Rock cruise they were on. It was like, wow. It's like I'm standing there, and now this is like before I was like really in the industry. I was still, in radio back home, and it's like I'm standing right in front of I can't remember which guitar player it was, but I had Jeff LaBar on one side of me and frickin' George Lynch on the other side of me, and then Eric Burden. It's like what the fuck is going on here? It's like, this is insane.
That's the band. That's the band every other band wanted to see. And actually, that's a good example because Schenker was one of Slash's guys too. And I remember when I first started playing with Steven Adler, he had an iPod, and he goes, if you like Slash, check this out. He put on some UFO, and you could totally hear it right away, the tone and everything. I'm like, oh, that's where that came from. Oh, that's where that came from, you know. You check the lineage of how like the guitar family tree goes back, and yeah, a lot of it goes back to UFO for sure.
So you, you weren't a Kiss guy growing up. I mean, who were you listening to? Who made you want to pick the guitar up?
I mean, Slash. I mean, my first concert was Poison, so I saw CeCe DeVille running around like a complete jackass, which is awesome. He was like, he was my guy. I'm like, that guy's out of his mind. I could do that for a living. You know, I didn't even pay attention to what he was playing. I didn't really understand music at that point, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But I was in whatever, because I was an MTV kid, so Poison, Motley Crue, GNR, and then Pantera was a big one because they were like when I heard that for the first time, I was like, whoa, what's this guy doing? Because in the '90s, that whole shred guitar thing really went away.
Yeah,
it was almost anti-technique.
It was anti-solo.
And then you had guys like Tom Morello. Anti-solo, yeah. So then you had Tom Morello come out, who was completely innovative with his way of soloing, and he could really play.
Right.
Yeah, Dimebag Daryl. And then I got into I went to Berkeley for a while, so I got into the whole Eric Johnson Dream Theater thing and learned a bunch of that stuff. But my heart was always in the rock and roll side of things. It wasn't so much about the player as it was I was always about songs. Songs come first. I don't care how great of a player you are. I don't care if you can play the solo note for note and nail it. I want to hear a good song, 3 chords and an alibi. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what it comes down to.
That's why I love Richie Kotzen. It's like you watch him live, and the songs are there. But I mean, you see him one night, they see him the next night, and it's completely different. He's got that Prince thing in him,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's one of those guys that can do that. But I was always I never wanted to be like one of those guys that was just a guitar player. I wanted to be in a band that was a band that was known for songs. So there was in the '90s. There was a lot of those bands that had like one hit that I'd be like, it's a great song, but they couldn't follow it up, and they'd come and go. And as opposed to having a huge catalog like say Poison or Kiss or Motley, it's there's something to be said for being able to have that knowing that formula of how to write a hit song and how to keep your brand going and define it with music.
Well, I think at that time too in the '90s it was kind of happening the way it happened at the end of the '80s. It's like you'd have one band that's like they signed everybody that looked a certain way, and they had one song, and then all of a sudden boom, move on to the next. But
yeah, it was like you make your money back, put them out on tour for a year. It's like, I mean, where's Dishwalla? Where's Vertical Horizon? Where's
right.
You know, where I mean, there are exceptions like Collective Soul, obviously, built a huge career out of it. But a lot of those '90s bands, they were around for 6 months and they were gone.
Right.
You know,
right.
and unlike '80s fans, those fans didn't stick around. I mean, they're not. You don't see a lot of those bands going out and touring the way the '80s bands can still do it for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just going to bring that up. It's like, do you think we're going to see a resurgence of those '90s bands coming back? Because it's like there
are packages that are going out that are doing really well. Remember in the early 2000s, Poison did that big package. They'd have like 4 bands with them.
Yeah,
they're doing '90s ones with like Sugar Ray, Matchbox 20, Everclear, those kind of bands. But for the most part, you'll see it because everyone's got bills to pay. They got to go and work.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the catalog, a band like say Candlebox can't do a 2-hour set. They don't have the catalog. They only put out 1 or 2 records that people bought. And they don't have like the rabid fans that know all their stuff like a lot of the other bands do. So
right.
It'd be interesting, but
you know what I'm really excited about is Hootie and the Blowfish are coming back. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Don't laugh.
I'm not.
I sold a lot of records.
I'm not. I fucking love that record. That record's amazing.
Yeah, I bet that thing's sold like 20 million copies. I bet that will do great. And you know what they were smart about doing? They stayed away for a long time, and then now they're going to be a big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you bring them out and put Sugar Ray as support. Matchbox 20. But Hootie, that band, didn't the singer went out and had a solo career for a while, didn't he?
Country, he's a country's guy.
Yeah,
he's
he
a
went country, that's right.
Yeah. All right, this is what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, Alex. We are going to take a short little break, throw a couple ads in here. Before we do that, make sure you hit up A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. They are based out of Minneapolis, but they can ship worldwide. Check them out, aplaser.com. They can laser engrave anything. They actually laser engraved a hot dog bun, ladies and gentlemen. That's how good these guys are. Check them out, AP Lasers. And A&P Productions laserengraving.com. And of course, John Palumbo Design, my good friend John Palumbo. You have a band, you have a business, you need a logo done, you need a website done. Check out John Palumbo Design. We'll be right back with more from Alex Grossi from Quiet Riot and Hookers and Blow on another fucking podcast. Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem. And his sponsor is Josh Todd from, and again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn. And they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor. Fucking A.
All right, we are back with
that. Who was that?
That was Craig Gass. Fucking spot on, man. Oh, man, back with Alex Grossi from Quiet Riot and Hookers and Blow. And, Bruce checking in. Time to put the hockey game on. All right, cool. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for checking in, you hoser. Another Canadian up there. Yeah, let's talk about Hookers and Blow a little bit. Like I said, probably the greatest band name ever. You said that's been around for what, 15 years?
We started, Dizzy, and I met Dizzy Reed. He was one of the first guys I met when I moved to Hollywood, and I think 2003 was our first show. So, about 15 years. Yep.
Okay.
Can't believe it.
Okay. So, how did, it was just one of those weird LA things. You just randomly ran into him.
No, you know what? Well, there was a place called the Cat Club, which used to be next door to the Whiskey, which is long gone.
Yep,
and he used to have little jam nights where you just go down there, just have it was almost like open mic, but not. And Dizzy was playing with the house band. I think they're called the Starfuckers.
Oh, okay.
And I got up and jammed a song. With him, and afterwards I said, "Hey, dude, I'm Alex. I'd like to, hey, if you ever want to do this, back east, I have a bunch of venues that would book it, make some extra money, and have some fun." He's like, "Yeah, cool." So I got his number, and I basically got the show offers in my hand, and I called him. I said, "All right, well, if you have these days off, we can fly back and do them." So I put a band together, and he goes, "Yeah, but what are we going to call it?" I go, "I don't know, Dizzy Reed and Friends." He goes, "How about Hookers and Blow?" I go, "Yes."
Fucking perfect.
And we just kind of spitballed the thing, and we got that logo, which is, we only had that same logo the whole time, and it just sort of snowballed, no pun intended, from there, the curiosity factor was the main thing, because it started off as really just an absolute shit show.
Right.
We would just go out there, and the whole point of it was to do everything opposite what we were taught growing up to do in the industry. We weren't professional. We weren't very courteous. We didn't draw a lot of people. We didn't promote, but we threw a party wherever we went.
Yeah.
We were. A lot of people were like, "You guys we will never have you back here." We were actually called deplorable by one promoter. He goes, "Your behavior was nothing short of deplorable. Don't ever call me again." I'm like,
wow.
Oh, I framed the email and had it in my office for a while. I thought it was great.
Wow.
So
man.
it turned into a thing where we kept touring whenever Guns wasn't touring and Quiet Riot wasn't touring. And I think I finally realized that it became a viable thing when I went to go see Guns N' Roses play in New York City, I think in like 06 or 07, and there was a line around the block for people to get in, and there was people selling bootleg Hookers and Blow shirts in line at a Guns N' Roses show.
Jesus.
And I go, "Oh, this is real." And Disney's like, "Dude, are we selling shirts?" I go, "No, our shirts are sold out." Because we still don't even have a website.
Really?
We toured the world. Okay, we have a Facebook page, but there's no website. We have one shirt. We've never made a record. We've done everything opposite. Yet we've been able to sustain if we all had to quit our bands tomorrow, we could make a living doing this, believe it or not.
Jesus Christ.
It's becoming a real band. We've never written a song. We've been playing the same 15 songs for 15 years. I think I can count on one hand the times we've actually rehearsed.
Oh my God.
We've done everything opposite what bands do to make it. We're not fan friendly. We don't write back to it. We're not fan friendly, but we're not like posting shit every 5 minutes about come to our show and get on our mailing list and here's a new message for our fans. No, we do nothing. We do literally the absolute opposite, and it works. I don't know how many bands out there did 2 full U.S. tours in a brand new tour bus we did last year, and I know bands that have sold millions of records that can't do that. So tell me what's working and what isn't.
I attribute it to whoever's running your Instagram with all those amazing memes.
Well, that's actually my girlfriend does that, but none of those are promoting the band. They're just offensive.
Oh, right.
No, she'll just Google cocaine and find something funny and just post it. We're not promoting a show. We're not doing anything.
We're just
it's just.
Oh my God!
It's a joke. It's a goof, and it's fun.
Right.
You know.
What is the social media for Hookers and Blow, by the way, in case people are not following and they want to get on it?
Honestly, I don't really know. The Facebook page, just if you type in Hookers and Blow on Facebook, it's the one where the blow is in all capital letters. And the Instagram, I think, is H&B official, H&B underscore official or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I love you don't even know your own social media. That's fucking golden. That's golden.
Hold on. I'm literally asking, what is there?
Oh, this is awesome.
Find it out. This is how little we care.
This is awesome. Oh my God, I love this.
Okay, the Instagram, and there's a joke in there. Hookers will Instagram, get it?
Ah,
okay. The Instagram, yeah. That's in 30 minutes or less. There'll be a gram at your house. Instagram. Write that down. Hookers and Blow Instagram, 30 minutes or less.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, man, I'm on tonight. Okay, it's H&B underscore official.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Instagram.
That's awesome. And Scotty, I think that's probably going to answer your question already. He says, has Hookers and Blow thought of making a CD, even a live disc? So that would probably be a no.
No, well, you know, and we've actually had a couple record companies offer us pretty good deals to do one. It would probably be a cover thing if we did do it, and you know, we actually recorded one. We did one cover a couple years ago. Dizzy and I did it with Les Warner from the Cult. We did an Elton John cover for to give away with some T-shirts we were selling online.
Oh, cool!
Just as a goof. But as far as making a record, I mean, I played on Dizzy's solo record, which came out earlier last year, I should say. It's called Rock and Rollin' Easy, and that was like a serious thing. That was her solo record. I think if anything, we probably just do more something like that. But yeah, it's not out of the question. I mean, it would have to be done in Hookers and Blow with keeping the spirit intact. Like, right. I would hate to just do all this work of undoing, I should say, and then try to all of a sudden take it seriously because, you know, it would take all the fun out of it if it would become a job at that point. So we'd have to do it in our own little special way, but possibly yes.
So you guys are just basically Steel Panther without the shtick and without the titties on stage.
We've had plenty of titties on stage.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
No, it's not really a shtick. It's literally like look at like the Faces. The Faces were just a bunch. They were all buddies. They got together, partied, and wrote songs and jammed. It wasn't really a band. It was just sort of, you know, not the Faces, I should say, but it's like an all-star thing, but it's not an all. I hate the word all-star band.
Yeah.
It's just. There's been a million people in and out of the band too. I mean, we've had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different drummers and 5 or 6 different bass players. But you know, Dizzy and I are sort of the Gene and Paul of the whole thing.
Right.
But you know, it's just we try to keep it light and fun, and just keep it no stress, because obviously I'm sure GNR is a high stress situation given the magnitude of how big that band is.
Right.
And Quiet Riot's a very serious gig. We don't fuck around. We're not there to rehearse. We're there to play our gig and do our job. You know, it's a job, and we take it seriously. It's business. And with Hookers and Blow, it's like, you know, some guys go out and play golf on the weekends. We go out and do that and get paid for it.
And it's a beautiful thing to get paid for. At what point did you start getting into the business side of things?
I've always, for some reason, by default, every band I've been in, even when I was back in like garage bands in high school, I always was the guy that would do the bookings. Like I would make the phone calls to the clubs and just set up the logistics. And I just got, I got kind of good at it. And I used to also manage a music store, so I understood how, numbers and whatnot work, believe it or not, unlike a lot of musicians out there. So I always liked, kind of having that control over it. And there's also something to be said, or if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Right.
And I've had enough bad managers in my time, enough bad agents in my time to know, like, you know what? I'm paying this guy 10 or 15%, and now I'm literally going back and fixing his mistakes. Why don't I just do it? I'll get up an hour earlier and I'll do it myself, And it comes in handy because then you can sleep better at night knowing, okay, if something goes wrong, I have nobody to blame but myself. So you're going to do a better job at it. And so I kind of always have. It's just there's so many different ends of it. There's management, there's booking, there's tour management, there's production. So I just I want to learn as much as I can doing it, and also I don't want to necessarily tour forever. No one wants to. No one can. I mean, we're all going to get old. So
yeah.
I still want to be involved in the business in any aspect, no matter what. So it's been a cool little way to. And also you're much more aware of your surroundings when you know what's going on,
right.
As opposed to just you think you just show up. I mean, when I forgot my first record deal, it was with Atlantic Records, and I thought this is it. I made it. I had no idea that meant literally nothing.
Right.
All it meant was there was a little A in the corner of my CD. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing really changed,
Right. Well, I mean, it's definitely a cutthroat bit. I mean, being on that side of the business too. It's like before I moved out here, I mean, I was booking an Elvis guy here and there, and then my ACK thing from back home, my Israeli thing that I do out here now. But it was easy back home because I knew everybody. I was in all those clubs. I knew everybody. But I came out here and it's like, I don't fucking know anybody. I don't know how to book a tour. I don't know how to do any of that. And that's why, we need somebody to do that for us.
Well, you know what it is? It's personal relationships, and because I cut my teeth touring a lot, when I first went out there, you make relationships out on the road, and people know you. They've shook your hand. They've had you in their venue, and when you call them, it's like, oh yeah, I remember you. Hey man, how you doing? As opposed to, hi, my name's Alex. I'm calling you on behalf of, it's like a telemarketer versus your friend calling.
Right, absolutely.
And I've been fortunate enough to have that, that relationship with a lot of these people, and the internet makes the world a very small place now. And if you do a good job, you don't rip people off, and you do what you say you're going to do business wise, you're going to have you're going to have a career. I mean, one thing with Hookers and Blow, even though we make a joke of it, we're very we don't fuck anybody over, we don't pull any shit. We're very everyone's honest, and a lot of people are into this business. It's very, very shady. There's a lot of fucking scumbags out there.
Yep.
Especially in the music biz or any entertainment
absolutely.
biz. For that matter.
Absolutely. And then, it's like, I know, I mean, I know a lot of people, but it's like, I don't know a lot of people. It's like, I know them in passing. I know them from the jams. I know all this shit. So I guess I haven't really seen the bad side of the industry yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't really see it. It just kind of happens to you one day. You'll realize oh, wait a second. That's why that guy was doing that. It wasn't about, you need to, you don't realize it till it's too late, and but you know what? Live and learn. You're not going to learn till it happens to you.
Right. I mean? Absolutely.
I realized, when I got, the first major label deal, and the second the ink was dry, all of a sudden the whole mood changed, and they're like, okay, so first things first, you're going to cut your hair. We're gonna replace your bass tracks. We're gonna do the photo session with this guy. You're fired. It's like, wait a second. It says here we can, we have control, but then they point out in the very, very fine print that it just these little shifty little things where at the end of the day, a lot of these people are not your friend.
Right.
You're either going to make money or you're not, and the second you're not making money, they have no use for you. So I try to keep a lot of my relationships with people that I trust and I'm friends with. I mean, I've done handshake deals for huge shows where there's been no issue at all because they're a good stand-up, honest promoter, and I've done contracts for a $1,500 show that goes sideways because the guy's a fucking scumbag. It depends. A contract is only as good as the person signing it. It's just a piece of paper.
It's absolutely
you true. Think, it's all. It doesn't matter. It's who's behind it. That's what it comes down to. And personal relationships trump everything in this business. I don't care what you say.
Yep, and that's why my motto is live life, have fun, and don't be a douche.
Just don't fuck anybody over. Don't take any shit. And don't go out of your way to be like, I mean, the egos and some of these guys out there. It's like, it's like, get over yourself, man. We're all out here. We're lucky to be working. It's 2019. Right. Just shut up and play the gig. Be grateful, But I mean, some of these guys still think it's 1990. It's like, just get the fuck over it,
Right. I mean,
go out and play your gig. Have fun. We're all lucky to be here.
I could see, if you're still on that level where you're selling out in our arenas and the stadiums occasionally, I can see having a little chip on your shoulder still. But, when you're playing in Sheboygan in front of 150 people, get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I try to, you don't want to take yourself too seriously, but you also want to stand your ground for things that you were promised, and you want to make sure you take care of. But there's a way to do it. It's just a matter of just don't, there's certain things you can let slide. I always, especially with hookers and blow, because it's, if something goes wrong, it's coming down on me because I brokered the deal. There's times when it's like, okay, you can't get this drum riser, you can't get this. Don't worry about it. Now, I could throw a tantrum, I could be a real asshole about it, or just say, next time we'll figure it out. Right. And you know what I noticed? You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. That old
absolutely
saying goes. And it's true.
Absolutely.
You're going to go back there next year, and they're going to take care of you, and they're going to remember that. And sadly, people remember the good stuff more than the bad stuff because there's less good stuff than there is bad stuff.
Absolutely. I think my favorite story about that, I was a merch bitch for LA Guns back in at the red carpet in St. Cloud, Minnesota, a couple of years before I moved out here. And Guns got done sound checking, and they're all set up. They're ready to go. Then the opening band shows up. And it was not a huge stage. I don't know if you've ever been in the red carpet in St. Cloud. Possibly
I don't think I have, no.
Great club. Great fun club. But it's not a monstrous stage. And the drummer's like, well, is he going to move his drums? The sound guy goes, no. But where am I supposed to set up? The sound guy's like, look, you can set up in front of them on the dance floor or just not fucking play. They're not here to see you. It's like, dude, just get over it.
What? That's what makes you the opening band.
Yep.
When I'm the opening band, we set up in front. I don't bitch about it.
No.
It's like, this is how it is, Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They didn't strike them for me, kid. We're not striking them for you. Figure it out.
Exactly. So we just got a couple minutes left here. So what do you have on the books for 2019? What do you got coming up other than the record coming out in a couple weeks?
Yeah, record's coming out on the 25th. So the live DVD, Blu-ray, everything, and then we start the Quiet Riot tour season starts, I believe, next weekend in Arizona, and then we're doing a show actually out near Alcatraz.
Wow!
It's a private event. We're playing. I don't know if we're playing in there or on there or near there or whatever. All I know is it's up in the San Francisco Bay where those three dudes allegedly drowned trying to escape, and we're going to be playing on a boat, or I don't know what that is. And then from there it just goes. We just go to quietriot.band. All the shows get updated weekly. Hookers and Blows we're on. The band's been confirmed for the Trailer Park Boys cruise.
Oh shit, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. The Bubbles has been the last few Hookers and Blows shows, and he has a song "Liquor and Horrors." So I think somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean or wherever ocean we're going to be on, Hookers and Blows is going to be playing "Liquor and Horrors" with Bubbles.
I love it. I love that song. Fucking love that song.
No, that's going to be a moment in rock and roll history, and that should be fun. And then obviously a bunch more Quiet Riot shows. And Hookers and Blow actually just announced we're doing that Rainbow parking lot party in the parking lot in April.
Nice, very cool.
It's us and Kix and a couple other bands. Should be fun.
Well, it's always a good time when Kix is involved.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Kix was doing it, I'm like, all right, we should. If it's us and Kix, I'm stoked. I think Love Hate's playing it too. Jizzy Pearl, Love Hate.
Yeah.
Maybe Bullet Boys have Odin's playing it. Actually,
yes.
Odin. I want to see that. Odin, yes.
Odin. Every time Sean Duncan plays Lucky Strike at Soundcheck Live, that's how I introduce him, and I get the whole crowd chanting Odin just like Kazari did. It's awesome. It's a good shtick. Oh, my God. So, yes, you got all that. It's on my bucket list. I mean, before I moved out here, or after I got out here, it's like I knew someday I want to play the whiskey just because everybody wants to play the whiskey. But now I want to play one of those fucking rainbow parties. That's, I was at the first one they did probably 6 years ago, and Quiet Riot did it a couple years ago. Played 2,000 or 3,000 people. It's huge. It's insane.
So I'm excited, and we're going on right before Kicks, so at that point everyone will be good and drunk, and the sun will be down, and it'll probably be a good. We're not really a big stage band; we're more of a club band, but it should be cool, So I'm psyched for that, and then I know other than that, just a lot more Quiet Riot shows, and just doing my thing, living the dream.
There you go, man. If people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
Just go to facebook.com/Alex Grossi. There's a couple different pages up there. There's a music one. There's a personal one. And then I have a website. It's alexgrossimusic.com, which I don't believe has been updated in about 2.5 years. So if you want to know what's going on, if you want to know what I was up to in 2016, check it out. And that's pretty much it. It's and I'm on Twitter too as well. They're all linked together.
All right,
hard
cool.
to find me.
Well, I mean, I'd love to do it sometime you're in town where I can get you and a couple other people in here and just do one of these drunken summits, even though I know you're not really drinking right now. But, I just like having random people in together and just bullshitting. It's what I like doing.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, whenever I'm in town, I'll let you know. I mean, it's so sporadic because it's like I'll get a call that I have to be in LA and, obviously just jump on a Southwest flight and do it. So for all I know, I could be there next week. So I will let you know for sure.
Sounds
and
good.
we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. Oh, Bruce,
cool,
Bruce checking in from Canada. Yes, Hookers or Liquor and Whores, the unofficial Canadian anthem. Fucking
well, tell him we are going to do it justice for him. We'll do our best.
I love it. All right, Alex Grossi, Quiet Riot, and Hookers and Blow, everybody. Thanks for checking in. Hold on, we'll say goodbye off the air. Let me hit my outro music here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Make sure you hit up all the social media. If you're listening live on Spreaker right now, hit that follow button. If you're listening on iTunes, hit that subscribe button. All that kind of good stuff. Hit up all the social media. Another effing podcast at the show page on Facebook. And you can find me at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. California time on the Monsters of Rock, which is free on the Dash Radio app. Or you can stream it online at dashradio.com/Monsters of Rock. Got the cruises coming up. Really excited about that. And don't forget, what I lack in talent, I make up for in cock. My name is Izzy Presley. This has been another fucking podcast. We'll be right back next week. Next Tuesday night, same bat time, same bat channel, with Ricky Rackman returning to the show. Rather excited about that. I haven't talked to Ricky in a long time. And he's got his brand new podcast about the days of the Cat House, which is it's really good. If you haven't heard it, check it out before you come back in. I'm trying to get Vinny Tortorich back on because his movie Fat, the documentary, is coming out soon. We'll see you next week. And go fuck yourselves. I do love you all.